Hello and welcome to another Kyle Connor YouTube channel video. We've received so many comments about the move to North Carolina. I've of course moved to North Carolina. Out of Spec has moved to North Carolina, and that's why you've been seeing so many more of our YouTube videos being filmed on the East Coast. Real OG viewers of Out of Spec, and maybe even this channel, will remember that we started everything here in North Carolina, and many of our early videos were filmed just beyond that gate. Well, I'm happy to officially report that we have moved back to North Carolina, and it's not to say that we're leaving Colorado. We still have the hub in Colorado, and actually up to this point I've been going back and forth between Colorado and North Carolina, either flying or driving, and it's been fine so far. I'm sure it'll get tiring one day, but we have no plans to leave Colorado. The hub is staying there for the foreseeable future, maybe at least the next couple years until everything shifts out here. At least that's the current thinking, but you guys know with me, we come up with new ideas every day and who knows what the heck will happen. Regardless, beyond those gates is our new home where you will see a bunch of YouTube videos filmed. And there's a private racetrack, which is a fantastic 2-mile long road course. There's off-road trails. There's a whole building dedicated to automotive research. What I mean by that is climate controlled bays that we can do DC fast charging testing in and a bunch of other things. And I hope to share with you, yes, a full tour of the new facility in this video, also some of my thinking and brainstorm with you guys on what we can do out of our new home, and then also sort of explain why the move in general and how things might look in the future. So with all that said, it's hot out here. Let's jump in the Super Duty. Let me take you on a tour of our new home. So I keep saying our new home. What the heck does that mean? Well, North Carolina Center for Automotive Research here in Garysburg, North Carolina. It's on the very northern tip of North Carolina, right off I-95. I'm sure many of you guys drive up and down I-95 to go between New York and Florida or wherever else in between you might go, maybe even up to Maine. We are literally 1 mile off of I-95, which is a really great location for folks traveling through, but we're also centralized, like I said, right in the middle of New York and Florida. So I feel like if we host some events, if any of you guys would be interested in coming up here for Spark EV Racing Series or whatever else we decide to do, this is a really great central meeting point. And so a lot of those thoughts are on my horizon. So NCCAR is the name of the facility, North Carolina Center for Automotive Research. And that was the intention of this whole facility when it was originally bought, or built, I should say. And it was built really under an economic development program for Lotus Engineering, but also other projects. And unfortunately, this was built just ahead of sort of the automotive and also economic crisis in the early 2000s. And the facility kind of went unfunded, and I'm sure we can get into even more of the story, but it was kind of flatlined a little bit. Anyway, the state came along and decided it was worth finishing the facility in a very limited capacity. And so there's about 680 acres or so, 640, 680 behind this gate that are dedicated to automotive testing that I'm going to take you on a tour of in this video. However, only about a half of it, or even a little bit less than a half, is even used right now. So there's so much room for expansion that we'll get into in the future. Now, Out of Spec and NCCAR has had a long time relationship. We had a really deep relationship with NCCAR back years ago when Out of Spec started. And when we moved to North Carolina, that kind of fizzled, only because we moved. There was no animosity, nothing wrong there. We just moved to Colorado to grow our car YouTube business, which really was a gamble and no one knew if it could work. And I still don't know if it's gonna work long term, but I enjoy making videos for you guys. So we had the idea about 6 months ago or so. We were having dinner with Timon, who you see on the channels a lot. And Timon also lived in North Carolina for many, many years. That's where he and I know each other from. And we were just sitting there and he's like, we're thinking about moving back, him and Lexi. And I was like, well, maybe we should move back too. So we just decided like that on a whim. There's no big bombshell moment. There's no secret sauce. We just were having dinner and we're like, yeah, track was fun. Dragons here, great mountains out in the western North Carolina space. Raleigh area is amazing. Charlotte's got NASCAR country, and then you've got the beach only a few hours away. And we're like, well, let's just do it. Let's move back. So called up my friends here at the track. I said, hey guys, we're coming back. We need to figure out, what's happening. And thankfully, for our case, thankfully not much has changed from when we left, which means we still have plenty of space here available. So the current relationship between Out of Spec and NCCAR, a lot of people are asking, is we have a long-term lease on the facility, and the facility is still open for rentals. The facility is still open to host your track days or your automotive testing. Might see some silly YouTubers around filming. In the future, I have some pretty big aspirations for this place that I'm sure you can dream up and imagine. And we're going to be working on hitting big milestones over the next months and years ahead as we become more embedded with the land behind us. I hope that says enough without saying too much. With all that said, let's jump in the Super Duty, which is sitting in high idle because I installed a high idle switch on this thing. Shout out BD Diesel. And should be icy cold in there because it's hot as hell out here. Let me take you inside the gates and on a full tour of the facility. Well guys, heading inside the gates here at NCCAR, and you can see just how, I think, beautiful the entranceway is. So there's a little guardhouse right up here that is primarily used for our event weekends here at the track. When folks come to do motorcycle track days are very popular here. The other name for the track is also NC Bike. So there's sort of three arms to the track in terms of the business of the facility. There is, vehicle track days, autocrosses, performance, enthusiast performance testing. And that includes, motorcycle track days and fun stuff like that. There's automaker private testing where prototypes will come here and showcase vehicles will come here. For example, Mustang GTD was tested here. Ford Mustang Mach-E 1400 was tested here. And other automakers beyond Ford and RTR and others use the facility, which is really cool. And that's the intention as sort of a engineering facility for automakers. That was the genesis of the facility. And then there is a sort of secretive military side of the equation for training and research on the military side. And to be honest, I don't know much about that. I kept out of those meetings. So I don't think there's that many meetings. They just blow stuff up sometimes around here, which is great. So that would be fun to get to show some of that stuff. So coming past the guardhouse, you're greeted with this, sort of beautiful entrance road that is designed to give you, maybe three or four distinct private spaces at the facility. So what we're going to do first is I'll take you, what should we do? Building first? I'll take you right here and we'll come down this way and I'll show you the main building. Now this is pretty underutilized at the moment, which is why we had space to move back into here. By the way, there's a utility right of way that leads right over the track with high voltage power lines, which is really great. And I think will be pretty good to set up plenty of charging apparatus around here. We've got so many charging ideas to come, and I'm going to walk you through a lot of those in this video as well. Of course, we do combustion cars and electric cars on this channel, my channel, but on Out of Spec, we primarily do electric cars. So what we'll do is we'll park here. This is sort of our area for the moment, and we're always going to have this area, but we might need some extra garage space in the very near future. Let me show you around here and the building tour. So join me. Well, guys, you can see some of the cars from the 5 Grand Fizz around here. The Spark EV is here and charging. We have the RAV4 EV up over there. That was supposed to be the backup car for the 5 Grand Fizz, but I think we're actually going to turn the RAV4 into sort of an emergency response vehicle, get some lights for it and some emergency equipment if something happens on track, which would be really fun. This is our main parking lot up here at NCCAR, or as I've been calling it, the Out of Spec track. I don't know. What do you guys prefer? Do I refer to it as NCCAR, or do I refer to it as the Out of Spec track? I just think NCCAR is not a great name in my opinion. I don't like the name. So I've always just called it our track because, it is our home. But I think we'll just call it the Out of Spec track. Thumbs up or thumbs down on that, Alyssa? Just the track. We have the hub, the track. Yeah. Perfect. But this is a lot more than just a track, of course. So anyway, in the front parking lot here, you've got the main building. I think we need to install a bunch of level 2 charging here in the front parking lot where all these cars are staged up. A lot of these cars are used for police training and other training situations. You can see the winches on these Jeep pull you out when things get too crazy, and there's different groups that utilize the facility, and then of course keep some vehicles here so they don't have to transport them every time they do training at the facility. And I've got 4 of those Autel dual 100 amp, or I guess dual 80 amp output Maxi-Syst Ultra EV chargers that I was thinking about lining here in the parking lot in these parking spaces, which I think would be cool. We have the Leaf Limo, of course, from the Fizz series. Need to order a tire for that one. Let me show you around the building. The building's really cool. It's, again, intended to be a research facility. More track days than research have been happening here over the last few years, and I think that's cool. It means we've get more of the local folks who live in the Raleigh area or Richmond, Virginia, here with their enthusiast sports car groups, get to experience the track. I'll tell you more about the track, but it's a really safe and approachable track, especially for beginners. It's not like a, oh, gotcha track anywhere. It's a pretty easy one. So coming inside the building, I don't think I'm going to take you on a full tour of every room in here, but I can show you some of the original intention of the facility. And it's a, you know, this is what is currently basically carved out of the facility. So we're over here at the main building, right in the entrance bay. There's a giant gravel lot over here that's primarily used for RVs and trailers. When there's events here on the weekends, a lot of people camp out in there, which is really cool. There's a bathhouse here with some showers and stuff that's just about to be completed. So when folks do come here and camp out for a race weekend, there's facilities. And then you have the 2-mile road course with a giant skid pad, couple acre skid pad there, which is fun. Now you can see this was the original master plan for the area, which carves out a whole chunk back in this area, this right here, which would have been a giant VDA. There's also room for an extended VDA out here, or maybe even in this back area. But the room for expansion is sort of provisioned and ever expanding. However, I think realistically, we're not going to see that idea come to fruition ever. It's just so expensive to pave and grade. And if you're really just using it for track days and what we're doing, filming YouTube videos out here testing cars, there's not much need for really anything more. And in fact, it's quite a bit. The only thing that's changed from when the track was originally paved to its current form today is we've added a chicane here in the giant, you know, basically almost a U-turn. But essentially that is, that was originally designed, if you look here at the master plan, this giant turn was designed to be, you know, sort of a giant skid pad, or an oval in this case, that would interconnect and loop. And only really a small portion of that was done. A really cool track given the constraints at the time. And you can see the location here. This is actually really cool. So you can see exactly where we are. We're equidistant between Raleigh and Richmond, right off I-95, literally a mile off. And, you know, easily accessible for the Detroit-based automakers and even the South Carolina-based folks and others to come and visit. And thankfully, we have had some interest and some good, I would say, reception from different automakers. You can see here some of the pictures of the facility under construction. Some of these might be dated, 2009 or so, you know, right after the big economic hit happened. This project almost didn't come to be. And then here's one of the very early track days going in. This whole facility has been really hugely instrumental to solar and electric vehicles as well, efficiency. You can see here sort of like almost an early Aptera looking situation. This is the Progressive Automotive X Prize. Not sure about that. Maybe some of you guys watching would know. This looks like a Clean Fuels EV Challenge back in, no date, but there you go. There's an old EV Challenge event that happened here years and years ago. And so I think that kind of fits with what we do here, which is pushing cars to their limits and showing a lot of electric stuff. So it's cool that this facility was always viewed as a next generation stuff. Conference room real quick. There's an identical one of these upstairs. But if we are to host events or meetups or whatever in here, we've used this room. We've hosted meetups here years ago. I don't know who remembers Tesla Fest East. We held that 5, 6 years ago now, I think 6 years ago. And right out of this room, we did a little driver training thing, and it's been fun. A lot of the weekend events use this space for training. We did some Fizz videos in here using these whiteboards, and it's just great to have all this space to host people and have people come and enjoy it. And there's some office space down over this way, tires, and then you're going to come down into the main hallway. Now, off of this main hallway, there are 6 garages in total. And currently, right now, we have the middle garage on this side, but pretty soon we're also going to have this one once some things get cleared out. So let me show you around this bay, which I'm really excited about, because we have our own ability to do alignments. So we can do our own track alignments, which is sick, and mount and balance tires. This is all Hunter equipment, really cool stuff. I don't know if Hunter still uses it, but for a while it was used as a training facility for Hunter equipment. So that's why a lot of this stuff is here. And it's just awesome to have access to being able to put tires on and off wheels. And well, I don't know how to do this. Timon does, and I'm going to learn how to do all of this so I can mount and balance and do stuff right here. We don't have to go to a discount tire, go somewhere else. We have our own ability to do it. This GTI is really cool as well. This was, I don't know the story on this car actually. I know it's here. My good friend Sam is sort of the track manager, if you will. He's really responsible for the day-to-day operations of the facility. We'll get him on camera at some point soon, and you might spot him in a couple videos that have already gone up as well recently, but Sam would know what's up with that car. I'm pretty sure whoever ran that car donated it to the facility. It's NCCAR's Golf GTI, and it's got a pretty built EA 888 4-cylinder in it, which is pretty cool and should be fun. I'll take you around outside, but these are sort of the motorcycle section on this side of the garage on the left. Yamaha riding school, really, really amazing riders operating out of there. And then you come to our bay, which again, we're still just moving into our section at the moment. But if you're an OG viewer, this will seem familiar to you. It's essentially our old garage. And it's great to have this space here. I have the Polestar 1. I just drove this car. You'll see in an upcoming video, about 1,700 miles from the Out of Spec hub to the Out of Spec track. And so that was a really fun trip. I did that this weekend, got in last night. We've also done the trip in the Model S Plaid. So the Plaid is here. And if you can show everyone the tires, Alyssa, we shredded these things. If you look at the cords on the inside of them, I'm sure everyone can see. It's, yeah, totally shredded, which is great to see. Twizzys here. And then back here, we have 3 electric motorcycles, actually. I've got my BMW CEO 2 and then 2 electric motorcycles from the Bonnie collection and some other really cool stuff that you'll see on Out of Spec Renew over there on the left. Lockheed Martin original DC chargers and some other very, very rare, cool stuff for sure. So there's also an upstairs to the bay, which is a little office up there. If you can peek up and show everyone the windows there, Alyssa. It's not worth going up and showing everyone. And then behind this area is just a small room that we're going to make our podcasting studio. So as guests come and people want to come hang out, they can go there and chat with us, basically. You know, some of the reasons we moved back to the track, like why would we do this? We're out in the middle of nowhere, and well, it's such a cool facility to be able to do stuff. So right now I've kind of shown you some of the building and things, but we haven't talked about what we're able to film. First is, a lot of you guys don't know, because most of our car coverage has been about range and charging and efficiency and electric car stuff. I really love to drive. I'm not here to tell you I'm like an FIA Formula One crazy amazing driver, but I love to drive and I like to push myself to get better often. So what I'm able to do now is spend every day out on track. And essentially, as long as there's no event out there, the track's ours to go and rip and use. And then we'll of course make space for whoever decides to rent the track. Like if you're watching this and want to host a track day, or if you're an automaker and want to do testing here, go ahead. You're not going to deal with me getting in your way out there. But the track is also free a lot of the time, and that's when we're out there ripping. So one of the things I'm really excited about is being able to shoot more performance-oriented drive videos for you guys. You can see I've got my POV set up on my helmet here, and essentially already the only thing I've shot out there so far actually is the Cybertruck drifting on track and some of the $5 Fizz things. But we're going to get some fun performance cars out here. Actually just took the Polestar 1 for a couple laps of the track, and I was pretty impressed with it out there. It was pretty good, better than I was expecting actually. And yeah, we'll have more videos coming to you guys on performance stuff at the track. Come join me around the back because I'd like to show you some of the ideas on charging and facility upgrades and what essentially I'd like to do around here. So we'll jump back in the truck in a second and I'll show you around more. Just to get your bearings straight, that's the parking lot that we started in. And over here, you guys know me, everything with electric cars requires high power, and we need high power. So we're going to be working on a series of basically electrifying the property. Right now there's a bunch, and I mean like there's got to be 50, 60 level 2 chargers around here. They're not level 2 chargers per se. They're NEMA 1450 outlets for RVs, but there's tons of them all over the facility, which is wonderful. And that's been good for us to level 2 charge stuff, but we really need to get some DC charging in here. So right here, we have a 500 kVA transformer, which is feeding the main building. The main building sitting right now is using 150 kilowatts of power, which is way more than I would have expected. But if you take a look on the roof, you can see all those giant AC boxes. There's a bunch of those. We have a couple cars charging. And so the building does really load up on power. And especially if I put, 8 80 amp level 2 stations up front, that's essentially going to be somewhere around 150 kilowatts of power if we're doing 80 amps out of every port, which is unlikely. But all I'm saying is I think we need to upgrade this transformer to the building because I'd like to add DC charging here. And there's a couple good news situations for DC charging on the low power side, and then I'll talk to you about the high power side. So on the low power side, every single one of these garages has a dedicated 100 amp 3-phase connection, 480 3-phase already run to it. Some of you may remember from our office in Colorado at the old CSU Powerhouse, we had, which we've moved out of there. We just kept the hub. We don't have the actual office at Powerhouse anymore. We had those 40 kilowatt Autel units that were on wheels. We've used them for a few videos, hooking them up to generators. We could put one of those. We've got a couple of them. So we could put one in this first bay and our second bay, and that would work really well. What I was thinking about putting in this third bay eventually, right now this is sort of used as the track maintenance garage. It's really Sam's garage and he's got all of his stuff in there. But there's a 2.5-inch conduit running directly from this bay to our electrical room, and I could put our 240 kilowatt Autel all-in-one DC fast charger in there without needing to do any upgrades whatsoever. The only thing is, if we add all this DC charging power, we need to upgrade the transformer. Probably not for what I just mentioned, but for the big project, which is going to be a 400 kilowatt Alpitronic hypercharger. And Alpitronic's so cool that all these companies are so cool. Autel gave us all that equipment. Alpitronic's giving us their hypercharger. For testing, we do drive a lot of prototypes and it's good for interop, but also they want to be seen on Out of Spec and have interesting content made with their chargers, and I'm all here for it. I think that we are the perfect hub to showcase charging equipment and weird electric cars working together. And we're also going to be able to use the 400 kilowatt Alpitronic for high power DC charge testing, which will be wonderful. This is the i3, by the way, from the 5 Grand Fizz. One of the folks here who works on the track and sort of works under Sam's team. We gave her that i3 to drive around, and I think she's been enjoying it. We're going to wrap it kind of in probably an i3 sort of Euro police style wrap. I think it would look kind of cool. Make it look like the UK i3 police cars would be awesome, actually. So this is behind our electrical room. So my buddy Brandon Flash came up here today to help me figure out where we should put chargers and where everything should be mounted. And at least the current idea right now, again, I don't know how this will stay, is to actually put the Alpitronic hypercharger somewhere back here, which is going to be in its own little area and, be kind of private for test use, which is the intention for that unit. That is our charge testing unit, where we can get cars at the correct temperature in temperature controlled rooms and then charge out of here. Yes, it would be even better if we could put the Alpitronic inside one of the garage bays, and we'll look into that. But for now, this seems like the cheapest and easiest place to put the Alpitronic unit. We have a 3000 amp switchgear panel, main panel inside the building. So the only thing that would need to be upgraded is that transformer, and Dominion Energy is our power provider here to the building. So it seems like a pretty simple situation. We also can put the charger in before we get the transformer upgraded, we would just limit the power output of the charger. So we have plenty of options and plenty of charging opportunities just up here at the building, and I haven't even shown you over at the track yet. One thing I should mention is, you know, like I mentioned, there's way more that I want Out of Spec to go and do more with this land and do more with the property here. But for now, our relationship with the track consists of this long-term lease that we have full control over, or I should say full use of the facility. So we, you know, basically can adjust things, we can add buildings, we can go through and do service upgrades and stuff like that. So we really can use it as if it's ours completely, but it's maybe one day sooner than you think. I just gotta make a couple more YouTube videos before it really becomes ours completely. It's a long road ahead with that vision, but I also want to put that vision out into the world to say, hey, this is why we moved back. We didn't just move back to lease a facility long term. So, but we're just not quite there yet. We've got a couple things to work out. Let's jump inside the Super Duty and I'll show you down by the track. So coming around the back of the building, this side really is primarily where we operate out of on that side. On this side, there's some other cool folks who rent the client spaces over here. And this is actually a lot of motorcycle activity over this way. Really awesome riders, really cool people. They actually have some social media stuff, but let's give them a plug really quick. I'm actually thinking about doing a series, maybe even taking their riding course, which would be really fun with their bike. So it's the Yamaha Champions Riding School, and it's on Twitter, Champ School, and on Facebook, Ride Like a Champion. Super cool people, amazing riders, great instruction I hear. So definitely going to be, thinking I would love to improve my riding skills and ride with them. This bay here on the end is sort of our emergency bay, and the track just had to buy an ambulance recently, so that's the track ambulance. You'll see that in a lot of our videos. It's equipped, it's stocked, it's ready to go in case we have an emergency, which is really awesome. And this is sort of an old truck that the track has as well. And ultimately what I'd like to do is I'd like to get a lot of our equipment moved to electric vehicles. I think it'd be really fun to have electric forklift, electric front loader, electric ambulance, electric fire truck, and have a lot of that stuff on hand and do a bunch of videos, you know, figuring out these things. For example, just turning the RAV4 EV into a kitted safety vehicle where, you know, maybe we're out just shooting a quick video. We don't really need a full EMS team on hand, but it would be great to have first aid stuff, fire stuff, and just some basic emergency equipment. Also, I want to be trained, and I want everyone at Out of Spec to be trained on basic emergency, you know, how to handle when stuff happens, because it's on track. And anyone who's spent enough time around a track knows it's not what if, it's when something really goes wrong. We've got an old rollback over here, sort of a tow truck. Would be great to get that electrified and get an electric everything. Would be really fun. These are all the NEMA 1450 ports and also just regular RV hookups all around the perimeter of the facility. You can see straight on is our new trailer. I have a video coming on this channel. I think it'll probably be my next video, showing you the purchasing of that trailer and the first road trip and many things to come with that unit. It's a 2-car hauler. And so this truck and that trailer, I just recently bought as a pair, honestly, to help with the move more than anything, because we've got so much stuff to shuttle now between North Carolina and Colorado, kind of on a continuous basis, that this truck and that trailer will be the perfect long haul solution. I would love to tow an electric truck. I've done it a bunch. We've made plenty of videos. It just sucks. There's no way around it. It really sucks. So that's sort of the staging area for track events. If we host another EV meetup, we can have a bunch of people, you know, park there and level 2 charge, and pretty soon we'll have, again, DC charging and a bunch of AC charging, dedicated AC charging for you know, meetups or events or whatever have you. It doesn't have to be electric though. I've sort of have lived in this EV bubble, but I love combustion cars. I kind of want to get a little M2 to build into a track car. Would be kind of what I'm thinking. If you look ahead, we're coming down the access road to the track right here. The facility is straight on, and if you've watched any video recently, that will look familiar to you up there. I want to bring your attention here to this transformer as we're talking about power upgrades and stuff that matters really to me. This is a I think it's a 208 120 output on the transformer. It might be 240 120, but essentially there's no 480 down here at the track. And what that means is it's going to be fairly difficult to install high power charging down here at the track. Now I'm going to talk to Dominion Energy about it and see if there's a way we can upgrade that transformer to a 480, maybe 500 kVA or 1000 kVA, and then do a step off transformer that will then split to 208, 120. We'll see about that. But basically, I have an idea for what to do with charging down here, because yes, we can charge at the building, but we've already learned when we're filming series or filming events, it's so nice to come off track and be able to charge trackside while you talk to friends, colleagues, filming, whatever have you. This whole area is turning into a second paddock. It used to be an old motocross track, and all of these are, again, just NEMA 1450 outlets and a bunch of power going in for folks that are going to be camping out here, which will be wonderful. There's a really cool spot just here in the opening. Maybe I'll take a little deviation. I'll show you guys. Off-road in the Super Duty. Right here is where I want to put a tiny home. Now, Alyssa, you're mic'd up, right?
Yeah.
Alyssa thinks I should just get a fifth wheel.
Well, yeah. So you can be able to take it anywhere, because with a tiny home, you can't move it at any point in time.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think tiny home's cooler.
Okay.
I think tiny home would be interesting for content. There's a couple new ones out there that I've been looking at. I've been looking at that house.me. HAUS.me. It's like this really cool space pod. It would be awesome right there. The whole side of it's glass. You'll be able to wake up trackside, which would be wonderful. There's a couple other places around the track I wouldn't mind having it, but the thing that I like about having it on this side is if someone's using the track or there's an event going on, I don't have to cross the track to get to the facility, because that would be impossible in the middle of a race or a track day. So at least over here, I sort of don't have to cross any bit of the track to get over there. So anyway, let me know what you guys think, if you'd be interested in a tiny home series, getting it powered off solar perhaps. And we've got a really cool EcoFlow battery pack that was sent to us for a sponsored segment that I've just fallen in love with, and it's like the coolest freaking thing ever. How do you turn off the parking sensors? There we go. And then over here, if you watch our Out of Spec, oh sorry, I was going a little too hard in the 6.7. If you check out over here, we've got a bunch of the Bonnie collection cars. If you're a viewer of the Out of Spec Renew channel, it's all about fixing and repairing electric cars and some EV conversions as well. And basically this was a collection that some guy was putting together, a really cool guy, Jim I believe was his name, and he unfortunately passed away, and his wife Bonnie donated the entire collection to Out of Spec, which is amazing. And it's really our mission over the next few years to maybe not restore all of them, but to restore as many as we can. I've also got my flat 26-foot bumper pull trailer right over here. So more off-road in the Super Duty, driving through these bushes. Thankfully it just rained, so we have no fire risk of burning any of this stuff down. But a bunch of RAV4 EVs, S10 electric, Transit Connects by Azure Dynamics, which were sold through Ford. We have, this is my favorite one, the Epic van right here. That is like a one of three maybe in existence. We know the whole ownership history of that van. We've been in contact with the people too. That's one I'm really keen to get repowered. And then this cool S10 electric has been completely converted to a LFP conversion. But we just found out that the battery pack is bricked in it, so we need to get new LFP cells for it. Bunch of projects. Alex is going to have to spend a lot of time out here working in the bays, on the lift. I didn't show you, but the bay to the right of us has like a normal, 2-post lift that we can put a car on and some other cool stuff. So a lot of projects already, and just an obscene amount of space to do as many projects as we want and as many series and whatever you guys are interested in. Ultimately, we're only able to be here and operate out of here and have fun and goof off because we have cool viewers that watch our stuff. So this is our timing building over here to the right, which is really just a little air-conditioned mobile building, if you will. It smells terrible in there, and I always feel really icky going in there, so wouldn't recommend. Do you agree with that, Alyssa?
Yeah, they got some things to fix in there.
Yeah, maybe we just need to drive through that one day.
Ozoned it.
Yeah, it's just nasty. So this is the track. This is North Carolina Center for Automotive Research facility. You'll hear me refer to it as the Out of Spec track a lot, just because I always mention I don't love the name, but I'll take you guys for a lap. Now what's cool about this track is it can be run clockwise or counterclockwise, so any direction you like. By the way, this is the perfect spot for a tiny home. How cool is that?
It is a good spot. I don't deny that it's a good spot for a home of some sort.
Yeah, perfect to have the little house.me.
Oh, yeah.
Unless someone else has a recommendation for a tiny home. The thing that I don't want are one of those like wooden tiny homes. I just think they feel kind of like crap. I really love these composite, spacey, new age tiny homes. Like a glass house, but then you can hit a button on an app and the shades come down. You know what I mean?
Right. You're very much into modern things, and we'll be touring them soon, so...
Yeah, video coming soon. If you can zoom in right there, Alyssa, there's a break in the trees, and that break in the trees leads to an entire trail network around this entire facility that is extensive and rugged and crazy and muddy. And it gets pretty hardcore out there.
Yeah, it's muddy.
It's muddy. And so I think we're going to have to do quite a bit of trail maintenance coming up, which is kind of why I want to get, a front loader and some other electric equipment to go and do a lot of trail maintenance. Because what I'd love to do is to be able to do a sort of off-road test for one of our series and build like a hill climb challenge or a trail challenge. Right now, if you bring any vehicle through there, you are just, I think I might need to hit 4-wheel drive to go through here. 4x4 shift in progress. There we go. Moving. Right now, if you were to go through there in any normal vehicle, you'd scratch the hell out of the paint. So we just got to open it up a bit.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm taking you guys on the perimeter of the track. If you look this way, the road course is down over there. And it's a, beautiful road course, 40 feet wide everywhere, constant radius corners. Look, I'll be the first to admit it's not like a super fun track. It's not Laguna Seca, it's not VIR. That was not its intention. It's still a really, anytime you're driving fast, it's fun. But there's a lot of, for what we're trying to do with it, it's actually a really nice facility. The only thing is some of those really long constant radius corners, Alyssa, just chew up tires.
Yeah, they do.
It's pretty crazy. So if you look to your left down this way is a shooting range that you can bring a tank down into, which is kind of cool, and some other cool stuff. So more to come on that. I kind of think it'd be fun to put a machine gun on the roof of the Nissan Leaf limo.
Oh, yeah, of course. Why not? Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
It'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Target practice.
Oh, who's the target?
Anyone icing a charging station.
Oh, okay. That's aggressive.
We also have a bunch of these corner working stations all through around the facility, and that's when events happen. There's a crew of people, generally the same crew of people, of about 8 or 10 people come out here during track events. It's sort of their second job or whatever, and they're here manning it, keeping people safe, and they're equipped with fire extinguishers and a bunch of other stuff. Actually, let's take them down this way, Alyssa, and we'll show everyone a little bit of the trail system, if you will. And this is more on the testing side of things, what I'm interested in. Some of you may know we have an Out of Spec overlanding channel that we kind of started shooting for and kind of gave up on it because not that there was no lack of interest, it just so many ideas, so little time. And so by compressing the space in which we're operating, there's so much we can do. So let me take you around here and show you some of this. So the only thing you have to watch out for at this facility is ticks. There are tons of ticks around here.
Lots of ticks.
So the dog's actually gotten to some ticks recently.
Yeah, it was an unfortunate situation, to say the least.
You kind of stepped on a tick nest with them, didn't you?
Yeah, it was like a needle in a haystack situation, but it happened on day one, of course, and with the fluffy Newfoundland and me, so that was fun.
That was just a disaster. We had to dunk everything in water, so I don't know if anyone has ideas of a safe way for animals to really get rid of ticks, that would be really helpful. But there's obviously just an unlimited amount of space to spray stuff. Yeah. And I feel like it's almost a lost cause.
I mean, our dogs are on preventative and stuff like that, but
when you step on a tick nest or whatever they do,
that is just unfortunate. It just, you can't do anything really with that, but dunk.
So what you just walked up there, I don't know if you showed the viewers, we have some stair steps here, legit stair steps that this is leading to what I think we should create, and we might need to massage the trail a little bit, and we might have other areas because this isn't the only hill climb around. But this would make an interesting hill climb challenge, not the stair step, but what's up this way, as sort of a way to discuss any car that we test, electric or combustion, talk about their power management systems, their approach and departure angles, their suspension, articulation characteristics, and others. And so I think just having this type of area to be able to really flex out the cars would be really awesome. Now, we might need to do some maintenance and carve a path, and my one main concern is erosion. There are some insane storms that come through here at the track, and they come quick and they come hard. And you can see we literally have the Grand Canyon forming here. And so I'm worried about repeatability when it comes to our testing. But I think with enough maintenance and enough, work on trying to keep it, the same path, the same line, this all goes back really far. There's a bunch of places we can show off-road capability of vehicles, but there's really an endless amount of stuff that we can create here for challenges and comparison tests, because ultimately that's my goal. And Alyssa, I know it's not really your goal, but my goal with Out of Spec is, on the review side, to create a bunch of different series and challenges we can run every car through and then make them as repeatable as possible. And
why is that not my goal?
Well, your goal?
What's my
You
goal?
like the road trip stuff. You like the motoring channel.
Well, yeah, I like exploring, and I like off-roading stuff and mudding.
Well, there's plenty of that around here.
Yeah.
We're going to have a lot of videos with Alyssa in her side-by-side, which we haven't got yet, but we got to get you a side-by-side at some point.
I'm hoping it goes under my Christmas tree this year.
Yeah, a little Can-Am turbocharged
Or
DCT
birthday,
thing.
If you want to go sooner, whatever works.
Right. Well, we got to be a little bit careful on what we buy after just spending a bunch of money. So, what you got in your shoe there?
I got a rock.
Okay. We got to make some videos, but I agree, Alyssa. I think we've got so many cool things that I enjoy.
Yeah, Alyssa needs a toy.
You need a little side-by-side. All right, let's, I think everyone gets the vision, the basic vision of this. Perhaps when we do, Sam really knows the trails around here. I honestly don't know many of the trails around the track yet. I've got to explore and figure them out. So perhaps we can have Sam take us for a drive, lock it in first gear. You think we need low range to climb this?
No.
No, she'll climb in first.
It's a truck.
It's a truck. Oh yeah. 6.7 diesel doing its thing. One thing's for sure is I gotta code out these freaking seatbelt chimes with ForeScan. Now this is kind of a cool system here, Alyssa, is we have the whole track. Shout out to Alan, who's really the tech guy around here. Awesome guy. He has created a camera and Wi-Fi system that spans the whole facility. So what that means is maybe with a small upgrade, or maybe even with the current one, we can actually do like live stream events out of here.
That would be nice.
And the cameras aren't like streaming quality. I wouldn't say they're necessarily good enough to like put on YouTube, but if a crash happens, I should say when a crash happens, Drew almost crashed the Spark over there in the Fizz series, and the i3 almost sent it too. I mean, that's just the nature of when you do drive stuff hard. We'll at least have, I think, every inch of the track is recorded.
Okay.
I'll check with Alan and see if we need to fill in any gaps or whatever, but that way, at least when something happens, we'll have the video of it, which I think is a good thing.
I agree.
Because everyone will see me being an idiot out there. Like, the thing about this facility, I've mentioned crashing a couple times. Whoops, you gotta go. Drive is the button on the end. We're good. Like the goal is never to crash, of course, but when you have such a safe facility, you can see how big the runoff is around a lot of these corners. It's really a great place to push the limits of vehicles when you're trying to improve driver skill or you're doing a competitive event. There's also a lot of times where I'll go a comfortable 7 or 8/10 driving, especially if I'm in a press car or in someone else's car. Like, if you're just trying to show the performance driving character of a vehicle, you don't really need to push it into the point of where you're going to crash. Now, things will happen, anomalies will happen whenever you're driving outside of a weird environment, but that is the nature of this. And so we want to make sure we have as much medical and safety skill as reasonably possible for everyone on the team. That includes helmets, Hans, and safety training. If you look down this way, a lot of these vehicles are here for the military training stuff. And I can feel center diff binding in 4-wheel drive. So let's just lock it into 2 high. There we go. 2 high is locked. You can do it in motion, which is nice. And Alyssa, guess which one is our Crown Vic?
This one.
Which one?
This one. No, it's not. That's not. This one.
Yeah, this one on the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh, I thought you were pointing to the other one.
No,
Yeah.
ours didn't have a wee-woo at the top.
That's right, no lights on it, but it does have the siren. So maybe we got to get that out one day. I'd love to put supercharged Coyote in there.
Looks like it's kind of at its home.
Yeah, I mean, it does run, though. Sam says they've had it out.
Oh, okay.
So it might need, general maintenance and a 5-liter V8 swap. But would be kind of fun. So I'm just a Ford man.
We do like our Fords, especially out here in North Carolina.
Yeah, absolutely. So, okay, well, that's just where a lot of the driver training stuff for military, they keep their cars over down on this way. And typically I'll try not to go on track if I have muddy tires, but I think we didn't hit any mud or dirt or anything, so we'll take the track back to the main building now. So, heading back out onto the facility. Another spot for the tiny home would be right up there, straight up on the hairpin. The only thing,
so dangerous.
I mean, you might just wake up with a motorcyclist in your living room.
Yeah, no thank you.
Yeah, I think that clearing is kind of perfect.
Yeah.
Would be cool. I mean, the thing is, it's just, I spend so much time here. I just want to be at the facility when I'm here.
Right.
I don't want to like have a house in town and have to commute 10 minutes here. I'd rather just wake up trackside. And we have the space to do it. One thing that's not a great situation is we have it on max AC and it seems like it's getting less cold.
Huh.
I do know Fords have AC problems with their Super Duties.
Oh.
So I'm wondering if ours is starting to go out. We have 6,661.1 miles on it. And most of them on the forum seem to fail between 4,000 and 7,000 miles.
Oh, okay, good. Well, it's under warranty.
Yeah, it is under warranty. It hasn't failed yet, though. It's just not as cold as it was 5 minutes ago. And we have it set to max AC. So that's kind of the facility. It's not worth showing all the trails or the bathhouse or some other stuff. I think that summarizes most of it. It just gives us space to explore stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot that we can do already now, and there's a lot that we can expand to in the future, which is really nice. And there's just a lot of fun and memories to be made and had here. And so we're excited to be here again.
I'm pretty sure our AC is dying.
Oh, okay.
I'm almost... It definitely is getting more humid in here. Oh, no. That would suck. Anyway, that's a full tour of the North Carolina Center for Automotive Research. I encourage everyone to come and use the facility and rent it and enjoy it and come here for track days and do your testing here. And if you're a viewer coming through the area, feel free to message. We probably can't make time for everyone to stop in and visit, Alyssa, which we've already received a lot of requests of folks coming through it. And it's like, I really want to see everyone, but we also have a lot of things to film and a lot of videos to shoot and stuff to get moved into. So what we'll probably do, the AC's coming back now.
Okay, good.
Yeah, thank goodness. What we'll probably end up doing is maybe every 3 months, 6 months in the future, we'll host an East Coast meetup here, have people come by. I think we've got to get a couple Model 3s, like LFPs, to turn into track cars. I want to do a Spark Racing series. There's a bunch of stuff that we want to do and film. Like, the ideas are really endless, and I'm curious to see what you guys think in the comments below. But the intention, the long-term intention, is this is home for an indefinite period of time.
Yep, we did the Colorado thing. We did what we needed to do out there, and we just wanted to come back to our roots and grow the business more out here. And
yeah, I think this winter really did me in Colorado. There's no reason.
Gosh, you were excuse my language, bitching the whole time.
Well, we could never get any testing in.
Well, yeah, it's testing, but you were cold, you were chilly.
Yeah, I like it warm.
That's really what it was.
I did not like the cold. I just learned that Colorado winters are not for me.
He would wake up, God, it's cold outside. I'm like, we live in Colorado and it's January.
Yeah.
What do you expect?
Yeah. So, no bombshell, no exciting drama as to why we moved. It was just, this facility is amazing. We've always had access to it. It just, one night over dinner, everything just clicked and we're like, all right, we just got to move back.
Yeah, just everybody was coming back here, and so we started to feel that strain and wanted to be back here as well. So it just really made sense. We honestly, before that, had no intentions of being back here. Not one.
Just one dinner. We never even thought about it.
No.
And then Timon was just like, we should just move back. We were like, done. Flip the switch. Let's go. I want to say a huge thank you to some folks here at NCCAR as well, to Sam especially, who's just like the coolest guy on the planet.
We love Sam.
We love Sam. Sam is like a family member to us. We're going to get him on camera more. Also to Kayla, who works on Sam's team, who's driving the i3. She's great. And also a shout out to the NCCAR board for, sort of working with us on a lot of different topics. So shout out to those guys. And I think we are in a really good spot here.
Yeah, I think so too. Lots of room to grow. Literally, it's 680 acres figuratively.
And only 300 and something are, carved out. So,
yeah.
Any one of you that has businesses or has the need for the facility, let us know. We will host you. We will make you feel welcome. We have room for everyone and everything at the moment. So come on up to Roanoke Rapids. Only if you got cool stuff, though. If you're not into cars, don't come. Why would you even come here if you're not into cars?
And dogs.
Yeah, you got to be okay with dogs.
Yeah.
Wiley, the wolf dog, lives here.
Yeah.
He's cool.
And we actually have DEA dogs here very frequently. So a lot of bomb sniffers. So don't come here with anything
They're
legal.
not coming here for us, though.
No.
We're not going to talk about them. That's secretive.
Really?
I mean, I don't know for sure, but I didn't want to blow up their spot.
No, they just train here.
Oh, okay.
It's just training for dogs.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what I can and can't say about that.
It's just training.
Just training. Yeah. More military training, secret stuff.
Yeah.
Police training.
Yeah.
A lot of that.
Yeah. Doggo training.
Got to get Blue in that program.
Oh my God, I'd love to just drop them off for a day at camp.
Well, welcome home. That's all I can say. Thanks to everyone for watching. Without the viewership, we wouldn't be able to do cool stuff like this. There's been a lull in videos over the summer, and it's just been because we've been in the middle of this move. We wanted to get all this set up. Now we're finally here. We can do projects. We can do builds. We can do track events, off-road stuff. And really, I just feel like we have no limiting to our potential of videos we can make anymore. We can do everything possible right here at the facility. And I'm thrilled with it. So can't wait to get charging installed. Maybe we can convince Ayana to put a full station nearby off the highway, which would be really convenient for everyone. Do an Out of Spec themed Ayana station would be sick. Got to call Seth and be like, bro, we got to do that. Thanks for watching. See you in another one again soon. Bye-bye.